The worst part about Crown Jewel was actually Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed. And I'm sick and tired of this shit, to be honest. Like, I'm talking to you guys and I'm telling you guys exactly how I feel. And I am somebody who has been overwhelmingly positive towards Triple H's booking. Like, I've been very adamant that Triple H is a good booker. But at the same time, too, he has his flaws. This was the biggest one of them all. Like, let's not get it twisted. And I told you guys on my prediction show, chat, I literally told you guys on my prediction show, Bronson Reed needs to win this match. Tell me why Bronson Reed loses to 3 curb stomps. Oh, and I get it. He's bloodied. And I get it. He stands tall at the end of the match and it's not over. And guys, I'm not dumb. I know we're going to get to Raw, and I know the way WWE ended that match, I know they're going to continue Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, Ango, you're jumping the gun. Ango, you are rushing into this. No, listen, I said it in my prediction show. Bronson Reed has a ton of momentum. A ton of momentum. If you are going to make this a trilogy series, if you are going to have them have multiple matches, you give Bronson Reed the first win on PLE. It's the biggest match of his career going up against one of the biggest names in WWE. Seth Rollins has been with the WWE for over 12 years. Seth Rollins, I understand we are getting to the point where he is going to feud with CM Punk. And it's going to happen, and it's probably going to happen at WrestleMania 41. I understand that they probably want some momentum for Seth Rollins before that occurs. But let me make it very clear. Bronson Reed is an up-and-coming talent. He's a guy that got rehired by the WWE, and they constantly put him on TV, and it took a little bit of time for the audience to catch on. Despite good performances, it took time. And I swear to God, I'm watching this match and I see Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins are having a banger of a match. A very, very good match. This was a match that was built up incredibly well. And then you have Seth Rollins beat him. Now, mind you, there's going to be a lot of people that are watching this. There's going to be a lot of people reading comments and writing comments, and I've already mentioned this several times on this fucking platform. There are a lot of people who will sit here and act like they don't know what I stand for. But there's no way I am going to criticize Tony Khan. No way I'm going to criticize Tony Khan in AEW for the same exact issue that I'm criticizing Triple H and then try to pretend like it's no big deal. And I'm reading the chat. By the way, the person I want to win who didn't win, I'm not fucking crying about it. What I'm explaining is that in WWE and in AEW, there are times where you just got to pull the trigger. You got to give people a chance to go over. The reason why I felt like Crown Jewel was so underwhelming and so disappointing is because it's the same thing that Triple H has been doing with a lot of his PLEs, which is being a little too predictable. And I am somebody who has constantly defended the situation where I say, listen, guys, sometimes predictable isn't bad if you do a really good job of executing. So why do I think Crown Jewel was disappointing? I think Crown Jewel was disappointing because it was predictable and it wasn't really executed in a really, really good way. That's the way I look at it. But then again, I'm telling you guys, look at Keith Lee and AEW. How many times did I criticize AEW for not pushing the boundaries and taking things to the next step? How many times did I say they need to pull the trigger? This is no different than with Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed is somebody who is getting over. He lost to Braun Strowman, by the way. He lost to Braun Strowman, by the way, and walked out with even more momentum. And everybody's going to sit here and say, well, listen, dude, it's not a big deal because he could just win the next match with Seth. No! You have him win the first match with Seth. Then Seth gets the second win. If that's the plan, if your plan is to extend it, which, like I said, they're extending it. It is very clear. Bronson Reed stood up. We saw him exchange words with Seth Rollins while Rollins was on the ramp. I mean, guys, it's very, very clear. It's night and day. It's simple as hell. It's very easy to discuss this. Like, what I'm saying is not really far-fetched. It's not irrational. It's not a dumb opinion. Because this is the same stuff. And Triple H should know by now. Triple H should know by now. You are in a star-making business. And trust me, chat, I'm reading what you guys are saying. And listen, that's cool. You guys don't have to agree. That's the beauty of this. I don't want you to necessarily agree with me. But just understand the issue in WWE for like the last several years is that it's the same people being pushed down your throat constantly. Oh, and guess what? 2024 AEW, the same shit's happening. I don't know, man. I think a lot of people need to realize that we are in the business of making new stars. When I say we, I'm saying these wrestling companies. They should be making new stars. You literally have it. I'm not saying, and by the way, I'm not saying it's too late for Bronson Reed. I'm not saying they can't rebound with Bronson Reed. Obviously, there's a storyline. I'm not jumping. I'm not dumb. Like, I'm very aware of what I'm saying. But I feel like they missed the opportunity to do something that was a little unpredictable. Something a little bit more, oh, wow, I can't believe that actually happened on Crown Jewel. Can somebody tell me what happened at Crown Jewel that nobody saw coming? I wish I could say it was the Sami Zayn Roman Reigns thing, but that's not necessarily it, because guess what, buddy? We've been talking about Sami Zayn getting with Roman Reigns in the bloodline for a long time. So what else happened? Cody Rhodes beat Gunther clean? That's not really shocking. Come on, dude. All I'm saying is this pay-per-view was a little predictable. There was a guy who could have really benefited from the win, which in turn would be really good for WWE. It is what it is. It's atrocious booking. People want to defend it. That's totally cool. Listen, I have no problem with you guys who want to defend it. But I'm on my platform telling you guys exactly why I didn't like it.